So to begin installing Active Directory domain services on our Windows Server 2022, we are first going to make some network changes. So we'll go to Network Connections. We'll go to Ethernet, and then change adapter options. We'll right-click on our network connection and go to Properties. Go down to the TCP IPv4, click the Properties button, and then we're going to set the following IP address. So we'll go ahead and enter in our IP address that we want. Our subnet mask gets created automatically for us because of the IP, and then we'll set our DNS server. Go ahead and click OK. We can close our windows here. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the server name. You can leave the server name the way that it is if you want to. I like mine being a little more specific than the automatic name that Windows gives it when you first create it. So I'm going to name this one Fichebait-server01, and we'll click Next. It will prompt you to restart the server so it can do the rename. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So once our login screen comes up, we'll go ahead and log in as our administrator account. And then once the server manager loads, it takes a moment after the window comes up, we are going to go ahead and add roles and features. I'm just going to show you where you would go if you want to do it through the interface, but we're going to do it using PowerShell. So we'll click Next through these items. And then for server roles, we're going to select Active Directory Domain Services. It'll let you know that there's some other things that need to be included with that. We'll click Next. Next again. Gives you some more information about ADDS. So we're actually going to cancel this. And now we'll go ahead and open up a PowerShell admin window. And I find it easier to use the PowerShell commands to install roles and features. It seems to work faster. So we're going to go ahead and say install -Windows feature, and then ad-domain-services. And then we're going to tell it what we want to include. We want to include the management tools as part of that. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. It gives you a nice little dialog so you know the progress of where it's at. Okay, once it finishes, we get a nice little area where it tells us if it was successful or not. And then we need to run one more command. So this one is for the Active Directory Services Forest. And so we're going to tell it which domain we actually want to use. So in my case, I want fichebait.com. So that's what I'm going to enter here. And then we're going to also tell it to create the DNS delegation set to false. And if you want to know more about the switches and the commands, there's articles online where you can go look all that up if you want to know exactly what each one of these does. So we're setting our domain BIOS name to Fichebait. And then we also wanted to install DNS. And then it's going to prompt us to create an administrator password. And so we enter that, we will then confirm it. And then it's just verifying that we indeed want to run this command. And we're going to go ahead and say yes. And you may see some different warnings here. All the warnings that you see, I safely ignored. I didn't need to really worry about any of them. But you may want to review them after it runs through. Okay, once it finishes, it lets you know that it was successful. It lets you know also that you're going to be logged out because it needs to restart the server. All right, so you can see it did some domain things there on the startup that weren't there before. We will go ahead and log back into our server. And once the server manager opens up, we'll be able to see our new roles and features, where you can see the DNS and Active Directory domain services. So hopefully this has helped you out. It shows you an easy way to install Active Directory domain services to your servers, mainly to use for a demo environment. And then you can use users and groups. You can configure other things that have to do with domains specifically, such as Laserfiche Directory Server, and use those during your demos. Hopefully you liked the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep phishing.